Mic check. 1, 2. Underground World News Live. Good evening. We're back for another one. For those that missed it, I was live over the weekend for all the stuff that went down with Trump. I will be getting to that, obviously, in the stream. If you guys did miss that, though, and want to get some details out of that, I may be referencing that video or that live stream. Thank you for the feedback, Susan. Deep stage. Yeah, the whole world is a stage, man. Thank you, Senior. HD. Want me to spit some bars, huh? I'm spitting some truth bars right now. If you like our music, man, we've been dropping a lot of recent music. I just don't get to play it on YouTube all that often. Maybe at the end of one of these streams, I'll play something. But usually that means the stream's going to come down by the next day. Algorithms attack me on my own music. It's pathetic. Anyhow, I want to thank everyone that shares the stream. Jay from the Ville. Crazy Tacos. Much love. Shout outs to E. Fitz, Deanne, all the mods. Sending prayers out still for the brother Tooge, hoping that he recovers and heals up quickly. And yeah, if you need to get anything to me, dabu7@yahoo.com. And the best way to support the show, buy me a coffee. We're going to get this thing popping. Pure Bloods always. Got that right, Gabe. Uncommon checking in. Enough is enough. Yeah, we're going to get into that. Maybe you guys saw the image that I tweeted out. I've told you about this Illuminati card before, ahead of time. Like, so much ahead of time that I went out, I got a bunch, and I told everybody, hey, check this out. Check this out. Man, now these things are going for, like, insane numbers. We're going to get into that. Bunch of that stuff, but going to start off up here in space real quick. We did here in like the past 48 hours have an X flare finally. And thank you, Rules, there in the super chat. And also Robert. Dropping knowledge is what we do, baby. And we are looking to have some kind of conference or something in the offing. Like I said, it may not be this year, maybe beginning of next year if it hasn't gone to crap by then, but I'll keep you guys posted and updated. I'm still targeting Vegas, out west. We've had the past few conferences in Cincinnati, past 2 or 3, I believe. Next one, would love to have in Vegas. If not, it's just going to be in Cincinnati again. But it's that or nothing, maybe, so. Susie Q says, time to sell it topic. Yeah, we're going to get into all that stuff here in a minute. I want to thank everybody again that joins us for the live streams, everyone that shares it. And we're going to go up to space. We did have an X flare here that came in. And we've got a lot of action up there. There's a lot of action up in subspace. And that's right where you can get up into the area where you're floating and then, can get around the planet floating, which is not too far up. But where the satellites are going around and all that, they're at different levels, but they call that geosynchronous orbit. And where the ISS sits and all that good stuff. It's an interesting spot because it's very similar to the atmosphere of this planet. If you ever notice this big planet that we're on, regardless of the shape or any of the other features, one thing that we do know is that the cloud deck always sits at about the same height all the time. So you could be sitting on your deck or your porch or wherever outside looking and see the clouds rolling through every day. They're always rolling in on a blanket of atmosphere that's, I don't know exactly how thick it is, made different in different areas. But you know what I'm talking about. It's that layer between you and the ground and the clouds. That layer right there is where all the life on this planet sits, that thin layer. And all the action goes down. Um, so too, when you get up to subspace, you have this thin layer. You have many different layers up there, all the way out to those Van Allen belts. So people want to talk about firmaments and all these things. Well, those Van Allen belts are very real, and they expand out into an area that's pretty large. That goes out way further than the area I'm talking about. It blows my mind when some of these people out there say satellites aren't real. It just shows me how damaged some people are, how, I hate to say it, successful the government's been with their psyops and their disinformation campaign and catching certain individuals and just taking them down certain rabbit holes that do more damage than good. I know we're all lied to, but I'm starting to wonder if it's just a designed attack. They're trying to come at me because of it's who I am, what I report on. But when someone jumps in the chat and says, "You still believe in satellites, Tapu?" It's just like, dude, man, there's another one. There's another one right there. And is it really that many dumb people? Or is it more than that? Is it an orchestrated attack by someone sending trolls my way? Which I have experience in dealing with for years now. So, and when they start using the same type of stuff and words and all this, it starts to feel like it's a designed attack. And that's when I speak on it. Just to let you guys know if you're seeing it out there and this and that. It's them trying to sway things, and they'll do it in the chat as well. They think I'm talking, not paying attention and all that. They'll jump in there and they'll try to sway the chat and all this information. They'll use any tactic that they can to try to knock me off the rocker. But it ain't happening. They're going to catch a hot one. Anyhow, the sun is full of sunspots. I mean, it's just lit up. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A dozen Earth facing. Remember, when they come around this left side, where 3751 is, this is where they're coming around toward Earth. And 3738, this is where they're wrapping around away from Earth. They are still geo-effective when they pop off from here. And they can affect the planet. They can affect a lot of stuff going on. What is that? So Uncommon's got a great point. I was setting up satellite comms for the U.S. Army in Afghanistan. Try telling me connected to radio towers that didn't exist. So he wasn't. He had his dishes pointed straight up, he says. And that's a very great point. Very great. Excellent point. I mean, some things are worth questioning, but some things are rather obvious to me. You can track all these satellites. You can walk outside and see the ISS going by on a clear night. All these things, man. It's just, I don't, it's why I'm leaning toward, it's heavy on, they're trying to save face or something in a psyop in that. But, yeah, this level's definitely real up here. That's why I say we get weather satellites or weather balloons up into subspace. Put a lot of things to rest. Put a lot of cameras on it and launch it. One day, hopefully in the offing, if I can make it through this year and get back on my feet, so to speak, that's where I look to take this. Look to get a good telescope that I can hook up and I can zoom in on whatever, and I can share it with you guys live. And I'm sure we're going to see some crazy things when this happens. Again, RIP, the kart racer, my boy Mike Morales. Greatly missed, my brother. Another one for space here, real quick. Starlink overcomes this lawsuit because Dish Network has gotten ticked off. They've all the competitions got pretty pissed because they've watched Elon Musk and Starlink explode onto the scene, and they have these satellites, and you can see right here. See in this image how they're operating and floating in space, and they come in these trams that you can look up and see. They look like, a strand of lights in the sky, traversing the sky. Oftentimes, the sun reflecting off this bottom dish or off the panels themselves, depending on the angle where you're at on the ground. But they can continue to be powered by the sun constantly. Just constantly. They've got solar panels that we've got this technology. And they've got all kinds of different satellites up there. But, and even with Starlink, they've been experimenting. They say that because the Earth, the atmosphere right now, with all the sun activity, is the way that it is, it knocked several satellites out of orbit. But we've seen this before. Most of them just burn up in the atmosphere on the way back down. Although I'd say that if you're ever in an experience where something comes crashing down from space, hits your house, hits your property, anything, I don't care what it is. Any kind of fireball comes down and impacts or hits anywhere, I would go and inspect it. Because if it's a fireball like metal, it could be worth a lot of money. Gold, silver, platinum, palladium, any of these metals raining down. It happens, and people have found them. It could also be a piece of a Starlink satellite. You could sue the crap out of them and get you a piece of Elon's pie. And that'd probably be worth more than anything right there. If one of these satellites was to ever not burn up all the way and come crashing into someone's house. Yeah, I got some stuff on BlackRock here later with the shooter and all that stuff too. Got a lot of details to dive into. Let's get into the quakes real quick. The most active earthquake region on the planet, still very active. You can see it's just swarming all over New Zealand still. Just continues to swarm. Tonga, up into Fiji, Vanuatu, these areas of the most active. You can see we got a big swarm right here, 6.2. But those never really caused any damage. And we're tracking these kind of to keep an open eye here for what's going on, any potential big time damage. Up here, there was a good swarm. There's still a swarm off BC. It got up to 6.2. It's died down in terms of magnitude. Remember, that's right off the coast from Seattle in that waterway going back up into there. We have some decent quake activity in Oklahoma. I used to always associate this with fracking. It's not always the case. We do know there's underground facilities that run through these regions, and they're always doing stuff. But this one, right outside of Chicago, at 3.4, fairly shallow, only down at the 10 kilometer range in depth. That one kind of raises an eyebrow. I don't know what was going on here. I didn't have time to go digging and looking into seeing if this was if there's a unique fault or something that runs through here, but and they don't show it on this map. It'd be nice if I could toggle in the fault lines, but yeah, it's just outside of Chicago. If you guys felt that, let me know. At me at the in the comments section. Mainly keeping an eye here on the comments on YouTube tonight. Every now and then over on D Live. I think I'm live on Rumble, on X, Facebook. Maybe about it. I will say this. Everyone's listening, right? Elon Musk is a rich man for a reason because of the things that he does, the business practices he puts into motion. Now, when he came over to X, where I'm sure some are listening tonight, I was very skeptical because I know who and what Elon is and what he's about. He talks and opens his mouth and speaks his mind. That's what I find the most interesting about him because he will speak more than what the others are willing to do. He just will. He won't say everything. He's not 100% righteous for sure. But he came in and took over Twitter. A lot of people got all hyped up and psyched out. Someone like me that has done this for a long time, that is about absolute truth, the real news, what's really going on. I should have seen some kind of, I don't know, everything should have eased up. When you post something and you've got thousands and thousands of followers, you should see it and feel it and all this other stuff. People shouldn't have to come to your channel to check in on you all the time just to see if you're posting stuff because they never get notified. But that's what happens. And call it being in the dungeon or whatever. It's just part of this game. That's where they've had me on Twitter for the longest time. Just one day, it was back in the last election run. It just stopped. Everything just stopped like a brick wall. And I could see in my notifications I still get new followers and everything coming in, but my numbers never move. And then when you go into the analytics, you come to find out that I'm flatlined. It's impossible. I have activity every day, whether it's people coming in, a few people leaving. It doesn't matter. It's up and down, up and down. A flat line is just solid censorship. And it's happening for months and months and months and months and months on end. Even though Elon stepped in. So they do this crap with verifying people and they want to charge you. First off, verifying someone should be just a free thing that does what it says it does. It verifies someone to say it's truly who they are. Shouldn't cost anything extra. Shouldn't be used as some kind of badge, if anything. It should just be to show that you are the real you. Well, for that badge, you've had to pay and get on some Twitter Pro account or some crap, right? Well, guess what now? All of you that can hear me live on X, you may not hear me live there in the future. Because if I get rid of this check mark or whatever over here on X and stop paying for the services, I won't be able to stream no more. That's right. Effective yesterday, a day after everything with Trump, Elon Musk and company launch into effect that you can no longer live stream on X unless you're paying for the premium service. Yeah, Restream told me this tonight. I'm logging in to Restream, trying to set up all my stuff, change the titles and all the streams getting kicked out. And it goes, doodaloo. I'm like, what the? I look up and it says, oh, there's been a change and update. X says that you have to be a paid, verified premium user to go live there. I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, this is ridiculous. So, anyway, the heat is on. I'm just stating the facts here. It's what's happening to me. It's got to be happening to other people. I think I might be live on Rumble tonight. I'm not sure, but I think I tried to punch in all the key codes, but I don't have the chat up because it's way too many chats to keep up with. Good, Paul. Kick rocks, don't come back. Um, 100-degree heat coming for the East Coast. That's right. I hope you guys are staying cool out there. 100-degree heat coming for the East Coast. This is huge. Tourist in Death Valley feel the record 133-degree Fahrenheit heat. That's just crazy. People just posing out there, taking a picture in this deathly heat. The drier heat is a little bit more tolerable, I feel, out there. If there was humidity mixed in with that 133, you'd be done. Thank you, Favang. Thank you very much for that information there. This heat has killed several people already, and they're saying that 140 million people are under heat alerts. And this is moving into the East Coast. People that may not be ready for it. You can see here, look at this. This is where the extreme heat's going to set up. There's dark purples and all that. This is Missouri, Tennessee, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina, all the way up into the New York region. Extreme heat temperatures. If people are not ready. Of course they are. Uncommon. Just get them. If you see me have any issues, tell me, I'll get them. Well, now 95 there in Pittsburgh today. But same here. Just hot. It wasn't humid hot, thankfully, but man, it was hot. Trying to get out there and do any work, anything. With no air, no AC, you can't breathe in it. All this. Yeah, it is summertime and it is the top of summer, but the heat is on. That's right. And it is weather warfare. You got that right, Jeff. 100%. All right, so next one says 3 hikers die in a Utah park as these temperatures hit triple digits. So unfortunately, people going out there, they're getting lost on 100-degree days, and without the proper stuff, it's deadly. They go down from heat exhaustion. They literally bake to death. Man, I've been here. I've been right here. It's crazy. I've been right there. Been to Horseshoe Canyon, and I've been all the way up to the summit. Me and Mr. A hiked this. We went on a mission we went to Yellowstone, and then we went down to a place we discovered off satellite imagery in Canyonlands. And I'm here to tell you that probably around the whole world, not just the United States, all these national parks, all the national places that the government takes over, they're ancient places. They're ancient places. I assure you of it. We are 1,000% sure of it. I know it for a fact. And we discovered massive footprints of what were buildings. Circular, perfectly square, perfectly rectangular, all down on the waterfronts. And they were so old, there was literally nothing left. But something was there. Something was there that left the shape on the foundation. So we go looking. What we come to find out here is that this stuff is so old. It's so eroded by wind and weather and sun and everything. It's so worn down that you can't even barely tell that it's there. And to me, it looked like and really felt like it was an ancient war zone, a place that has been blasted. And maybe that's why it's a vast desert out there. I don't know. I don't know what really went on out there. I do know the Paiute Indians told me that in their accounts that they battled giants out in this region, and that's very real. Look up the stories of Love Block Cave, a real cave. That was the whole story was real. Where did these giants stay? They stayed out in these bodies of water on little islands, these little lakes. Lakes that are out here in Nevada, out in the desert, lakes that no longer exist, like Groom Lake, where Area 51 sits. We went there too. Boy, oh boy, the West is calling me back for one more run. I'm telling you, I've got unfinished business in a lot of ways. But in Canyonlands, we specifically found things that should have signs that tell you that this civilization made this and did this and it was made this long ago and this and that. There's nothing. There is nothing. For miles and miles and miles, there are structures, what's left of them. We found a huge, and I got the videos up on it, but they only have like 5,000 people see it. They like hide it or something. I don't get it. We found a huge triangle rock with a white circle in the middle pointing right toward the sunrise. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Huge, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff out in the Canyonlands. I go on and on and on. But the place we tried to get to, we couldn't even get to. Down on the Green River. But we found some other stuff. Boy, and they won't let you fly the drone in there. So I got right on the edge of the Canyonlands and launched my drone. And I got some footage and I got some stuff they ain't even been seen to this day. We found a cave. We found some stuff, boy. We got to go back. When you're riding out of there and you look up at the cliffs, it looks like you're looking up at the tops of like ancient buildings and structures. It is nuts. We had to get up at like 3 a.m. We rode in on a full moon. I planned this whole thing out like this. I had to. We had to go in under the light of the moon, hike in, get to our destination, do all this exploring, start to archive stuff, do whatever we could do. And as soon as the sun started to come up, we had to like start to wrap up things and like pick up the speed. Soon as the sun peaked, where you could see it in the sky, like peaked over the edge, we had to start hot footing it toward the car, which was like an hour out of there, hour hike. And if we didn't, we'd be dead, just like these people. You've got to be smart about it, man. That's what we had to do. We had to go in under the moonlight, and we had to start heading out as the sun came up. That's how very little people get to see what is out here. I'm telling you. It's treasures. There's treasures out here in these places, man, that they just ain't never going to tell you about. So, if you ever want an adventure, Indiana Jones and you's ever calling, the West is full of it. That's for damn sure. I'm going to tell you it's all over the place. Could be even in your own backyard where you're at. Look across the Midwest, the Adena civilization, all the mounds, all the way up to the Mississippi area, all the way up by the Mississippi, all the way up to St. Louis, Serpent Mound in Ohio. I mean, there's ancient stuff all over, man. And they got us caught in a rat race where you never have time to go explore. GLP sees you. What do you mean, bro? And thank you for the coffee. GLP. Was it? Is it godlike? So I think comes to my mind. But thank you, Led. Where you floating at? I'm going to go over and check D Live because that's usually where I see you. Thank you for the coffee. Best way to support the show. Much love, Pixie. Good to see everybody out there tonight. I hope everybody's doing well. We got a lot to cover. I'm just getting cracking. Just tearing into this. Rest in peace to those that lost their life out there in the Canyonlands. A lot of people in Texas still without power after this hurricane Beryl barreled through the region. We've got like 250,000 people in the dark still. A lot of them still flooded out. And it just sucks to live in the path of a hurricane. I've seen the devastation. It's as crazy as it sounds. I've chased a couple. Um, I've chased a couple hurricanes, and had to really. You talk about the live. You talk about crazy. You have to like. I had to come down the west side of Florida because the hurricane that I was going after was coming up the east coast, and it buzzsawed the whole east coast, all the way up it. So my thinking was try to shoot down the west side and like just get in behind it. And I was trying to do just that, get in behind it so we get down and help people, evaluate the damage, assess the damage that's been done, and just get whatever documentation of the event of what was going on that we could. And dude, that highway 75 or something ends up going right down the middle. And I decided to jump on it and hit it, and we did. And I went right through the bands of the hurricane, into the eye, and then into the bands again, and then got out on the back edge, and was able to follow it up the coast. And to be able to follow a hurricane up a coastline, especially a coastline that you're familiar with, that you've been to before, and to see the destruction is insane. All the sand that it ate out on all the beachfront homes and just left them dangling, all these homes just dangling, was just insane. How much it ate out. Like, ate out all of it. The ocean, the wind, and everything, and just left all these homes teetering. I mean, they were wasted. Home after home. But Houston, man. Houston is in a bowl, just like New Orleans. It's always going to get flooded like this. I don't see how people do it. I just don't see how they do it. Prayers going out to everyone out there. He gets caught up in this. It's just those factors alone, all this right here, makes it not a safe city for me to live in. Hey, someone, whoever you are, thank you for those 5 coffees. Been a while, huh? Hey, well, much love. Yeah, back over here on the main channel, 7-7. It has been a minute. Just getting going here on the stream. Got a lot to cover. Going to cover stuff on Trump, shooter, diving, all that stuff. Just going to try to keep it running here. Keep it rolling. Cover the 10 best walkable cities real quick. This is something I wasn't even going to cover, but as I was reading through it, I was like, hold on a second. Is this a joke? Like, did they factor in crime to this? Did they? Because, and I've been to a lot of these cities. And yes, some of them are good walking cities to walk, and they're beautiful. But the crime is big in some of these. And some of these cities, I told myself I'll never go back because it was so bad. Philly. Been there. Pennsylvania. City of brotherly love. It has, every city's got its crime, but this one gave me some of the most beautiful waterfront drone footage of the city, and the city was just, it was beautiful. Philly was, we walked it. There was a big march. We filmed it in rain and sun. Philly was, it was a good experience. The historical aspect of it, got to see the big bell, all that. So it has history. If you ever want to, I will say that. Providence, Rhode Island. I've never been there. They say that's another good one to get out and walk. Key West, Florida, number 3. I've been there. I'll say that. Yeah, it is a very beautiful area. If you got time and money, you can get down there. Marley became a supporter. Thank you. Much love from Southwest Florida. What are the odds? Checking right on in. Southwest Florida, and got another one for you. That's what I call synchronicity. Right there. St. Augustine, number 4. That made it. And St. Augustine's nice. Really nice town. peaceful. New Orleans, been there. I was there for Mardi Gras. It was Mardi Gras. So um, I just when I was younger, I had a buddy of mine, Swas, uh, and some other dudes. Man, they were in a truck and they were like, "Yo, you want to go to Mardi Gras?" I'm like, "Where's that?" They were like, "New Orleans." It's like, well, how are you gonna get there? And they were like, in the truck. And I was like, well, how long is it gonna take you to get there? And they were like, I don't know. You want to go or not? I was like, sure. I jumped in. I passed out and woke up. Next thing I know, man, they're saying we're here. And like, I'm like, what? We were in New Orleans, man. And it was a beautiful, beautiful waterfront city. But let me tell you, the hood ain't no joke. Ninth Ward, all the wards ain't no joke. We parked on a couple streets down there and slept in the vehicle and like got out and walked and all that crap. This was like 20 years ago or more. Um, and so many people were on a balcony. I watched the whole balcony collapse. Snoop Dogg come walking out of this place, and all these people were screaming. Naked women, and all the beat, all the New Orleans stuff. And the balcony collapsed. Like since we walked up, I'll never forget it. All these people were crashing down the ground. No one got killed, but a lot of people got hurt. And I never forgot Snoop just walked out and like people went crazy and then that thing came down. Never forget that. Um, that was my one-time experience in New Orleans. Boston, been there. Nice city, historic, big, expensive. I don't know what the crime's like. I heard, we seen it was up on the list, but yeah, and a walkable city, Chicago, Illinois. And let me just put a caveat with this. This is one of the reasons I brought this whole list up. When I was in Chicago, yes, Chicago's beautiful. Yes, Chicago's a walkable city, like they're saying. It has the rivers that run through it, almost like you're in Italy. It's very unique. It's very beautiful. Thank you, someone, for the support. Appreciate it to the fullest. Thank you for the coffee. But I sat on the beach in Chicago, and yes, there's a beach there, which blew me away. It's the Great Lakes right there, one of the Great Lakes. And it's just beautiful and crazy. And I was like, wow. And we were down at the beach and got up and walked away. Got in our car, and someone got shot and killed right where we were just at. See how it's on the waterfront right here? And all this? They got a beachfront, and we were on the beachfront. And it was crazy. No. I'm not advised anyone go up there. The gang activity is insane. I know people that live up there. I've got buddies I grew up with that live up there and all this other stuff, but they live in these ritzy big old buildings and it's protected. Most people are just going to go up there and go walking. I'm telling you, Chicago, you better watch your tail. Another one, New York City. A very walkable city, so to speak, because of everything that you can see. We're the biggest cities in the United States, the biggest. It's massive, and it's unique in its own right. And there's a lot of things to see. Go down and see where the towers were. You can look out across the bay and see see Statue of Liberty. I mean, all these different things. But again, crime is through the roof. Susie Q says Pittsburgh is a bore. Never been to Pittsburgh. I always wanted to go there at least once. I've never been. I grew up in Cincinnati, and I was a big Cincinnati Bengals fan back when I was into football. And their rival was Pittsburgh. I never had a chance to go to Three Rivers or go down to Pittsburgh and see any of that. I always wanted to. Just to see it, again, to experience it and say, hey, that was Pittsburgh, cool. And have it in my memory bank. But never had a chance, man. So one day, got to get up there, Susie. See you and Joe. Maybe if not just for that reason. Chattanooga, Tennessee. This is crazy. And I can vouch for this as well. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. A lot less crime than your bigger cities like Memphis and things like that. But Chattanooga, low-key. Tennessee's fourth largest city. It's beautiful. Got the waterfront. and St. Louis, Missouri. If you guys have never been to St. Louis, I've been there several times when I covered all the action in Ferguson. Um, Ferguson was chaos. It was crazy, like a war zone. But St. Louis itself has history. At these arches, you can look across the river. Remember earlier, I was telling you about the mounds up the Mississippi River. They go all the way up to right across from this spot right here. You can't see it, but on the other side of the water there sits a park, and there's mounds, huge mounds, ancient mounds that are there. It's crazy when you look at the setup, when you look at the reflection of Egypt on the other side of the planet. In the Nile that flows backwards, the Licking River in Kentucky flows backwards north the same way. Then as you're going down the main river, the Ohio, into the Mississippi, you come across Cairo, which is in southern Illinois, Cairo, like in Egypt, and then you come across Memphis, right there, which is in Egypt as well. And the Memphis, right there in Tennessee on the Mississippi River, has a massive pyramid. It's all a reflection of Egypt in all these ancient things hidden in plain sight, man. Wanted to point out real quick that the highest graduation rate in the country is West Virginia. The lowest in the whole country, not Arizona, but it's close, DC. Imagine that. Lowest graduation rate by state or area, DC. If you want to go by state, it's Arizona. It's kind of surprising. Highest cost of living goes to, drum roll, Hawaii. Yep. And then Boston, Massachusetts. Everything I was telling you, it's super expensive up there. Then California. Then New York. Then Jersey. Then Alaska, Maryland, Washington State, Connecticut, and Oregon. That's your top 10 most expensive places to live. And it's showing us now that the places where rent rises the most is where homelessness rises the most. Sacramento. And these are the places that saw the rent rise a lot, and behind it, a surplus of homelessness. Sacramento, top of the list in California, followed by Fresno. Those places, a lot of homelessness. Then Raleigh, then Phoenix, then Austin, then Tucson. On that list. They're saying don't expect for home prices to go down anytime soon. Even though there was a pullback. They say that because there's a lack of inventory and people are wanting homes still, that prices are not going to come down. And they've pulled back some. Lumber's pulled back some with it. But I'd say right now, with the lumber prices down, if you're wanting to build anything, I'd do it right now. Wow, thank you, Marley. I'm just now seeing this over there on the Buy Me a Coffee, where it says you guys were a supporter. And the someone that became a supporter over there, thank you again for the coffees and for the support. Home prices, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here, man. Everything could continue to rise. And what the government's going to do is try to tax everything like they do everything. And they're going to try to tax you out of existence. And at some point, you got to make a stand. Even if you own a home, you own every single thing on your property. They come through with the property tax. And they tax your property. This is what people say, you can never really own anything because you can never flat out own anything because they keep wanting to come through and get money off of you in this manner. And it used to be that this place was set up so everyone could go out there and thrive in America. It was the American dream. We're like, dude, that was like in 1800s, early 1900s type thing. Like now, that stuff's gone. They've killed it. Because now, for example, with the cost of homes going up through the roof, they said the median house price is approaching $500,000. Well, let's just take that. Let's say it's 400 and some $1,000, but let's just round it up to $500,000. That's where it's heading, right? For the median home, can you believe that? So, if you take a 2% tax on your property, that's what some states are doing, okay? That's $10,000 right there a year. You got to pay just to live on the land that you own. Can you believe that? A lot of people got to incorporate it or fold it into their house payment and all this other crap, so they're really not recognizing or seeing it. But this is what you're doing. Other places are like they're giving your property like an increased property value evaluation. And this means that you're going to have to pay more and more and more. And this is the trick, man. They just come through and like, oh yeah, your property's worth a whole lot more now. But guess what? You owe more in taxes. It's ridiculous. It's set up. And it's at some point, something has got to totally change. You know, a lot of people fled here. They fled to America. Our forefathers, our grandparents, they fled to America, escaping all of the hell going on in Europe, where the government drove everything into the ground. They came here for freedom and prosperity, and they had that for a while. You don't have that anymore. Let me jump into gold. Gold. It just keeps testing all-time highs. Silver setting up right behind it to explode. Gold bouncing around, as you can see here, 24.26. At 24.35, that's where it hit its ceiling. Let's take a look here. Backing out in 30-day. Yeah, it's not moving, but it's up 17%. Just off this most recent move. And I told you, gold is one of those things that is going to continue to rise. Thank you, Colleen. Colleen says, I'm a real estate broker here in Ohio. Housing prices here are at an all-time high. Man, thank you for the support. Thank you for the comment and the information. Appreciate it to the fullest. That right there speaks volumes. Professional in the field right there telling you that houses are at an all-time high. This gold, it's not going to pull back, I don't think. It's kind of like catch the pullbacks. But this thing, I'm telling you, it's heading for between 20 and 30,000. It may take a couple years to do it. It's heading there. You watch. You watch. Look at this one. 5 reasons for a new gold playbook. And this is very true. And look at what they're saying now. All these investors throughout all the years used to have you put all your money into stocks and bonds. Right? Even your 401k. It was all stocks and bonds. Right? Well, things have changed. They call this the 60-40 portfolio. It's pretty well known. Anyone out there that is in business or has a 401k, anything like that, you'll know what I'm talking about here. The 60% in stocks, 40% in bonds. That's the common theme they'll try to tell people to go with, which is a ruse to me. Today, though, they're saying it's changing right before our very eyes. That something's happening. Stocks now should only be held at 45% compared to the 60%. Bonds drop to 15% from the 40%. And the rest are made up of 10% commodities. Looky here, 5% in Bitcoin. They've even got allocated here 5% in Bitcoin at least. And then 25% that never even existed in the portfolio is now there in gold. So now all of a sudden, a quarter of what they're telling everyone to invest in is gold. 15% of that safe haven gold and 10% performance gold. And they say performance gold, I'm guessing here is in stock, and then safe haven is in being like the physical. Either way, that's putting 25% of your holdings into gold. This is what they're calling for now. This is a sure sign the dollar's going to get whacked. All these states that are making gold and silver legal tender on the books and doing away with the taxes on it, that tells you they see the writing on the wall. The dollar's about to get hit hard. I think it's going to be held for ransom. And it's coming here anytime. They may well just wait for Donald Trump to get in office to do this. Looky here. The market's moving higher as Trump's election odds rise. So all the rising is happening now. Gold's rising, Bitcoin picking back up, shifting. Of course, that's all on news. They just dropped information on a Ethereum ETF and all this. So that's jumped up and it's starting to lift it back up a little bit, but that could be short-lived. My thing with the digital nothings is that they are digital nothings. They're not assets you can hold. It's not anything you can hold in your hand, hide at your house, bury on your property. But all these things are going higher, which means to me, I foresee, this is my prophecy, if Trump makes it into office, he gets in there and everything's going and running, they bring this whole thing down on his watch. It's the ultimate FU. It's the ultimate we got him. It's the ultimate to dish it all on him, blame it all on him. It's literally the last thing they can do if you can't take him out, if you can't kill him. It's crazy. I foresee them dumping this place. And Trump himself has even warned about this. He says, I don't want to be the next Herbert Hoover, which he basically came into office to a ticking time bomb, to basically what Biden just did. Wrecked the economy for 4 years, just devastated us. It's going to take more than 4 years to get us out of this mess, to turn the ship around. You see? And that's how bad we've been decimated right now by this Biden regime. It's really the establishment hiding behind one man's name called Joe Biden. It's a puppet. But it's all the politicians. Duh. People are just dumb. All the lemmings in the crowd look like, No, it's an establishment. An oligarchy. It's all these people. They're all in a club that you're not. They're running the show. Obviously not this brain-dead Biden. They can't even make it to the door and turn the handle himself. Come on. Come on. Whole public's getting led by the nose. By the establishment. A large group of people. None of these shots being called by one individual. It's garbage. That doesn't exist. That's a fallacy. So it doesn't even matter if Trump gets in. It's the same thing. Same establishment running the show. They could bring the whole house, Jerome Powell, everybody that controls inflation and all that, they could bring the whole house down. Again, all by design, just to say F you. Just to do it. Or all by design. Okay? I'm warning you. Trump gets in there, watch out for the markets to tank. All by design. People, already comparing him to all this biblical stuff. Deadly head wound. He survived. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but an ear piercing is not a deadly head wound. It's not. You can go and yes, a lot of these other things, I pet goat stuff and all this other stuff, things are there. this Christian dude that came out 3 months ago and was talking about a bullet going by Trump's ear in his vision and all that. That's pretty wild. That is. But is he part of the club? Because, Matt Groening's part of the club. And that's how it always gets in The Simpsons beforehand. Because people are in the know. And people come out and they can say things and they can look like prophets when they actually really just knew what was going to happen. Because they're in the club. And they're not a prophet at all. That is new. Just like a ton of people knew towers were coming down before it happened. So, let's take a look at this. Let's dive in to the Trump stuff. If you guys missed it, I went live on an exclusive live stream as everything was unfolding, all this information with Donald Trump on Saturday night. And, the mainstream out there, like CNN and them, they wouldn't even admit it and they made it confusing. They wouldn't even admit that it was an assassination attempt. They were saying that he was injured and that, you can see the headlines here, Secret Service rushes Trump off the stage as he falls at rally. No mention of shots. Okay, MSNBC does though. They say after popping sounds heard at rally, popping sounds. At least this says shots fired on the banner. But they don't want to come out and directly say it. Gun-like sounds, gunshot-like sounds. But then on the other side of the coin, on the right, look at this. See the difference? Trump shot. Trump hurt but safe after a shot. After a shooting. They state what really happened. Okay. So, on the stream Saturday night, I dove into, and you can go back and you can watch some of the stuff if you want to reference it. I don't have the exact image right now to pull up. But I'm going to talk about where dude's set up on top of this building. But in the meantime, before I dive into that, I want to mention here real quick that the RNC is underway. It is underway. And if you guys don't know, Trump, with his new ear piercing, has picked his VP. So, all right, it's not funny. He got shot at, didn't he? Trump, almost lost his life, or something else. Anyway, Trump picks this dude, a virtual no-namer that none of you knew, that was in none of the anythings until the last few days. They started talking about this J.D. Vance. He's out of Ohio, Cincinnati area, where I grew up. And he's his top VP pick. So this is it, guys. Trump Vance. He's rather young, and they feel like they're setting the stage for this guy to be a strong leader. Because Trump can only run 4 more years. Then what? I've said this before. What are all the Trumpers going to do? What are they going to do when their savior has to disappear? He has to retire. He can only serve 4 more years, and everybody knows this. J.D. Vance is going to be his successor. It's pretty much what they're saying. He's going to be groomed to where everyone out there loves him just like Trump. That's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to take Trump's charisma and the love for him and everything and attach it to this dude in this run. They got to do something or find some other all-star. And this is the best shot that they got and the best way to do it. And this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. GOP's actually playing the long game here and strategizing for the long picture. So just in case, at the end of this 4 years, people are happy with the way things are going, and Trump can't run again. Well, they can just say, JD, slide on up here and become president. You know, grown folk talk. America's turn at rulership is ending. Enjoy the show. You got that right. It's coming down by design. Manly P. Hall, a master mason, openly wrote about it in the books. He didn't hide it. He openly wrote about it, hoping that what they call the goyim would find it one day and realize that this whole place, America, was built on deception. And he writes it in the book, that it was designed to come down. That's the key part about it. So this is all written by them and planned and plotted, and it's known. And I'm telling you about it. It's like being on the Titanic as it's sinking. It sucks. The baton seems to be being handed off to China. But I think that what's about to happen is it's going to be a multipolar world here. It's not going to be just China steps up, stomps at the United States. The United States doesn't exist anymore. The dollar doesn't exist anymore. It's not how it's going to happen. Get that out of your head. The dollar should survive. Every other currency survived, for the most part. Even the pound, that used to be the top dog before the dollar came along, it got knocked off its perch, but it's still around. Every country still has to have a mechanism, has to have a means of money. The only way the dollar won't be around is if they absolutely kill it. Which they could. Because the dollar is used by everyone all around the globe, except for everyone that's dumping it right now. And I kind of feel they're going to go with the basket, which we know they're doing already. It's got the Chinese yuan in it. Our dollar just happens to be the strongest. And I feel that even with the cyber attack and the installation of CBDCs during the cyber attack ruse that's coming, the dollar will still maintain because it has to. As long as the people are gobbling up and using the CBDC and making a transfer over to what they want, it will maintain. And if the rest of the world sees this, they see the United States bending a knee to all this, well, will they do it? If they see that the United States, well, hold on a second. If the United States banking sector gets hit big time by a cyber attack, this is going to affect banks and countries all over the place. The whole world, because the dollar is used there all over the place. So if banks are affected worldwide, this will not just be a United States thing. It would be a global thing. And they'll be telling everyone globally, come get your CBDC. Just download this wallet and we will switch it over to your account. It's that simple. They're looking for a rug pull. They're looking for a way to get everyone onto a new system. And you got to hold it hostage. You got to hold it hostage. In the meantime, I mean, you're seeing Bitcoin making moves. Anytime a dollar takes a hit, people are going to try to jump into different areas as a hedge. Bitcoin, gold, other stocks, things like that. Land is a good asset to have these days. All right, we'll keep it pushing here with this stuff. With this Vance. As you can see, that's the picture you're going to see from here. Right there. There he is. Trump Vance. So Vance is their new playboy. And, yeah, man, this is going to be interesting. A lot of people saying that since this whole shooting thing, Trump's poll numbers are going up through the roof. People that never were going to vote for him are voting for him. Similar to what happened to Ronald Reagan. It's true. It's happening. So right now, the RNC is going down in Milwaukee. This was an event that I was wanting to go up and cover. Wasn't able to. Wasn't able to financially to get up here to be able to pull all this off. And I got so many other things going on right now. Marshman, did you just say XRP got gold? Who wins? Gold wins. Yeah, as XRP. Are you kidding me? I hate saying this ain't a clown on nobody, but I feel bad for some of my people that I know were out there holding XRP at the same price it's at right now. Months and months and months and months and months ago. It was still in this 50 cent range. It didn't make none of these huge gains like others did. I don't know. It's because I'm not in it doesn't mean I don't watch it. I watch everything like a hawk. The Trump card. Yeah, you got that right. We're about to get to it here in just a second. First off, this before I get to that, the RNC underway here. We've got several days of this. This isn't a one and done thing. It's over tonight. So we've got Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all involving the RNC here. And a lot of these speeches are at indoor venues, which, a guy can't crawl up on top of a building and try to snipe you. Although anything else could happen, he could crawl up into a rafters. I guess anything's possible if you let someone. Or just don't or turn a cheek. So a bunch of speakers are going to be up here speaking with him at this RNC. And look at this. Right after the shooting, the classified document case against Trump gets dismissed. The judge finds the special counsel appointment unconstitutional. So voila, just like that. After he gets shot at, this happens. Judge just says, you know what? Dismisses it. Funny how things can work like that in this life out of nowhere, huh? Yeah, don't touch Timu. Yeah, get ripped off by billionaire Timu. Hey, Timu, man, I don't trust that place. It's all Chinese. They're like a data harvesting site. They're not even really... It's set up just to harvest data, not even to facilitate the transaction. Just to harvest your data so they can sell that and make money off that. Because there's more money in that for them, apparently. So, they're saying new video shows the Trump shooter climbing to the roof while people are warning the police. This is nuts. Saturday night, I showed the images of where the shooter was on the roof and where Trump was and the snipers that were behind Trump. And that this dude had the clearest shot in the house. If there was any building in the whole area or vicinity that a guy should take, if he wants to take a shot on someone, it was the building the guy was on. And how the Secret Service did not know this and all that, I'm going to dive into those questions here in a second. But look at this shot. And it's only from this angle. You could see from right here as Trump's turned to the side, this bullet whizzing by in the air. I have not seen this from any other clips, any other freeze frames. I'd like to see the original source of this picture. I'm just saying. It's just the investigator in me. I want to see everything. Make sure it's not photoshopped. I want to know where it came from. I want to know everything. Because if you got this out of a freeze frame off a video where there were dozens and dozens of videos running, you should see it in a freeze frame of others. Granted, this is the closest and the clearest. You got to do these things. You've got to ask these questions, rule things in or out, or find yourself caught up getting fooled or in a ruse later. I've been down these roads, man. So we cross our T's and dot our I's and lift all these rocks, making sure there ain't nothing suspicious going on. Okay? If nothing is, then guess what? It is a genuine, crazy-ass picture of a bullet missing this man. Well, it didn't miss him, it hit him. You're looking at the bullet that literally tore through his ear. My thing with this is, or is there, are they saying this is a secondary bullet, one that came that close to him but missed him? I almost think it has to be, because the trajectory of this bullet is low. His upper right ear got hit. This sits quite a few inches lower, almost down here at the very bottom of the base of the ear. If you were to run a line straight through here, you'd barely clip the bottom of the ear. Right there. And a bullet's going lightning quick, mind you. Lightning quick. Gone. Quicker than you can even move to react. You have to ask these questions. So I'm going to play this. And you've got to ask the question, why did nobody stop this man? Look at this. Look at how many freaking people saw this guy. It's crazy. Here we go.
Doing the job, I wouldn't even be doing this. I could get some beautiful places.
Look, they're all pointing.
The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down. You see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
And Scott, I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a Senate.
What's happening?
And to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look. There he is.
Easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people. Criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here.
Right on the roof.
It's much tougher than it happens.
You went right on the roof for that.
Can you believe that? Can you believe all these people are standing there watching this sniper, this guy that shot Trump, on the roof, and that this went on for 26 minutes? 26 minutes. That is insane. The guy was in another position and left that position and then got to this building, got to the top of the building, and then that's when these people saw him. He was observed before this, though, doing everything I just told you. In another spot, leaving all the time. Not a single cop or no one says, hey, what are you doing? Not a single one, not a single cop that heard all these people pointing and saying something wanted to go look. Like, dude. Were stand down orders given to certain people in certain situations? Like what? Questions are flying. The red flags fly big time. You have that many people pointing at this guy. Crooks. What a last name to put. And this guy was as patsy as I've ever seen. Like, is this guy they used. They say that the shooter was a registered Democrat, but he is seen on video in multiple instances dissing Trump. One, he's screaming at people in the street about slicing throats or something. And then another one's a short clip, like, you got the wrong guy, or something. And it all these weird things go into it. It's like, man, did this guy really think? Let's stop and think about it for a second. Did this guy really think that he was going to survive this? I mean, did you really think? Hold on a second. How did he even get into position? How? These are the big questions that are going to fly and that are flying and deserve answers. It was so crazy that Trump just came straight out. Well, first off, that he popped straight up, popped his head right back up out. And they let him. They should have kept him down. Like, I mean, they should have never let him pop back up. I mean, come on now. Let's be real about it. If it's a military if it's a target you're trying to take out, and this is the military, or if it's any other situation, take Trump out of the equation. Anything else? If this is an individual you're trying to take out, if it's our military trying to take out someone else, this dude pops back up. They're popping shots in him, and they know this. They're gonna cover him and keep him stooped down and run him out of there. Not allow him to jump up for a photo op. Like, fight. Like, these are the weird things that jumped up at me. You know, Mr. You're fired, Trump here. I'm just saying, these are the natural things coming at me. Like, why would he have ever jumped up like that quick? Another thing that screams at me and jumps out at me is the 2 streams of blood coming down the face. And the thing at the top of the ear. When you slow the footage down, his hand looks like he put something on top of the podium, like dropped something. As soon as he touches his ear, his hand comes down when you slow it down. And it looks like there's a possibility he did drop something on it or put something there. What it was, I don't know. But there's a lot of speculation to this as what we're seeing here. First off, for it to be embedded in The Simpsons or an iPet Goat or in any of this other crap, anything beforehand, this means this was part of the show. Don't you get it? Man, like, that means there's definitely more to this as you're seeing. And everyday people are seeing the lapse in this. Like, how in the heck did that building not covered? So, they're saying also this. Let me add in some details here with this. As we've heard in other suspicious shootings in the past, the shooter had explosives. Yep. Secret Service is denying all these accusations. And of course, mainstream media blaming the victim. And this is all done to stir the people. If making you think your president, Donald Trump, won an election and giving you Biden wasn't enough, because that obviously wasn't to tick off patriots and to tick off Trump supporters and to get them to storm the Capitol. They surrounded the Capitol with barbed wire fence. Then they pulled off J6. All of this in attempt to try to get people to do something. Actually, we see they couldn't get people to actually do much of anything. That's why the J6 was pulled off. But they needed something grassroots. They actually want to try to get someone to respond. They want a Trumper out there to say, dude, they just tried to kill my president. I took an oath, maybe even a former vet. I took an oath to serve and protect, and that is my president. A man saying tonight. In basing this on this show that we've seen here that went down in front of us. I think long and hard before going out and doing anything stupid and being enticed to do so. I tell you all the time, you can peacefully rally in the streets and rise with your numbers, and you can make a change, and you can rise against the beast. But don't fall in their trap. In any hardcore Trumper out there, right? You don't think there's not one cleaning ammunition tonight? You're not going to kill my president. You're not going to shoot my president. I'm going to show you, Trump. I'm going to show you how much I love you. You got, somebody's looking for revenge. Just like gang members, just like anyone else out there, anyone that's emotionally attached to the situation. This is what they're looking to lure in. And once they finally get someone to do that, they'll demonize them. They'll paint them as the domestic extremist. And they'll try to call everyone else that. So, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Apparently, Joe Scarborough and his... Oh, man. I wish I could discuss sometimes. So I'd call this woman what I think. These dogs get pulled off of air because of fears that their well-known leftist hosts here are going to say something wrong. They literally took Joe Scarborough and company off the air. Can you believe this? How long they've been doing this? They took them off the air because they thought that they were going to be like so giddy and laughing and smiling and say something insensitive in front of the whole world. So it might have been a smart move on their behalf, because guaranteed he would have, because others have. But at this level on MSNBC, obviously going far left at this point. There was a time back in the day that I never used to even look at this even see the news as left. I turn on the news, and I would just, it could be CNN, MSNBC, all that. I would never be looking at it as a left-right thing. But boy, oh boy, now it's a whole different ballgame. You can blatantly see that some of these outlets lean a certain way, and it's in a whole different way than it ever was back in the day. Eric Prince gives his detailed assessment of the Secret Service failure. He basically says this. He says that it's either malice or massive incompetence. These people are privy to the most updated mapping, real-time satellite imaging, live camera imaging of the spot in which they're sitting, with AI involved, and all this other stuff now. That showed you right there just how hard it is to infiltrate one of these things for real. If any one of you out there were trying to get rallied up and try to go up, that they'd pick you off. They'd see you on satellite. They'd see you. They'd see your weaponry. They'd see everything. They'd send in some drones on you. They're going to watch everything. They're going to watch everything. And as soon as you start to get into a position, you're not even going to have a chance in a real scenario. You're not even going to have a chance. If any one of us tried to do anything, you'd be blown away on the grassy knoll. You would never even make it to the building top. Matter of fact, you probably would never even made it close to the vicinity. They would have got you on the outskirts somehow with the technology and all the stuff if they really wanted to. But yet this dude didn't. This dude, like MacGyver, slipped past all of them. Slipped past all security, yet everybody standing in the field could see him. Everyone could see him and pointing at him like, look, I just showed you the video. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I want to run through 10 burning questions that every American should be asking about this whole Trump situation. Okay? Because I think it's fitting. Number one, how did the shooter get so close without being seen by the Secret Service? He was able to crawl onto a roof. No, he climbed up there. He walked up to it, climbed up there, and was just 130 yards from Trump. A little over a football field length away. How did he get there? Remember the sniper that was sitting on top behind Trump? What were they locked onto? They were locked onto him. Obvious. They were in that direction. They never swung into another direction. All they did when the shots rang out was they got startled real quick and they jumped back off their they kind of like went back off their gun a little bit, but they went right back to the same, looking into the same spot. Let me turn that down here. Gates became a supporter, man. Thank you for supporting on Buy Me a Coffee. That is the best way to support the channel. And I appreciate it to the fullest. Number 2, why weren't security personnel on the roof? Every roof had a direct line of sight to Trump should have been covered. And former SWAT commanders are saying that what we just witnessed was a fundamental security failure. Like, this doesn't happen. Like, when you're in a situation, when you're tasked with pulling security for a place like this, you go immediately and look at those places, these high-rise places, and you secure them. There's no doubt about it. I've said it before. I've been to so many political events, so many things. I've seen the feds on top of buildings everywhere, in so many cities. I've been around Trump many times. I was at his inauguration. I know how the feds work and how security works, and you can see them all over. It's no mystery. Every key position is covered. Number 3, why didn't authorities respond when they were warned about a man with a gun? I mean, first off, when you got a handful of people saying there's a man with a gun, you do something. You don't stand there. So I have a caveat to this is just that. Why did the cops, they need to be interviewed. Whatever cops are on duty right then, we need to know, we need names, they need interviewed. Why did you not go looking and respond when people were screaming, there's a guy with a gun? There's a guy with a gun. There's a guy with a gun. There's a guy with a gun. I mean, people just kept screaming it. It was, you saw the video. I just played it. How come none of the cops did anything? Were they told to stand down? Why would they just sit there and do nothing? What did they do? Look the other way? Ignore them? How awkward would that be? And that's why these people don't understand. Why did the cops do nothing? They're saying the same thing I'm saying. I understand. I can feel their pain. They're probably in absolute dismay. And they're probably like, hold on, dude. I would love to have seen the cops' reactions right there. And like, what were they doing? And saying, like, did they say, oh, whatever. Just turn the other way. Or like, I don't get it. Like, how can you just turn the other way from a bunch of people screaming there's a guy with a gun? How can you yourself as a cop feel safe doing that? How can you feel safe? I don't buy it. You would have had to have had knowledge, and you'd be looking the other way because you know what's going on. You see, we speak things that make sense around here. And we'll talk the whole thing out until we do make sense out of it. And some things are just the way they are. You can't change it. And the facts are the facts. And when all these red flags stack up, it's just too many, man. There shouldn't be any. If it was legit, if it was all legitimate, if it was all real, all the way that the MSM says it is, then there would be no flags. But boy, they're everywhere. Which speaks for itself. Anytime they're everywhere, it's been an op. So, number 4, according to testimony from other eyewitnesses, the shooter actually had time to move from roof to roof before he started shooting. You see? Roof to roof. In a time frame that saw 26 minutes go by. Once the shooting started, why did it take so long for the Secret Service to get to Trump? There should have been people right there, ready to throw their bodies in front of him. And it took a minute. He went to the ground and tried to pop back up. Like they should have been on him. Like tackling a football player. Which they was eventually, but not quick enough, some would say. Why was the security so much better at previous rallies and not this one? Because you've got people that go to all these rallies and they are saying there was a noticeable difference between the security at this rally and security at past rallies. That's pretty big. And those are the little things that you only find out if you get up off your tail and you go out there and you attend some of these things and you see it for what it is. Number 7. Apparently, Alejandro Mayorkas turned down requests for better Secret Service protection for Trump on multiple occasions. Why did he do this? Did number 8, inflammatory rhetoric inspire the shooter to do what he did? As they say here, as J.D. Vance aptly observed. So you never heard about this dude out of nowhere, but now all of a sudden they're quoting him the day that he gets announced he's going to be vice president pick. The Biden campaign had been labeling Trump as an authoritarian fascist who must be stopped at all cost, and to put a target on him. And Biden did say this, but they're quoting J.D. Vance as pointing this out. Like any one of us could have been quoted as saying that and pointing it out, but no, they chose to pick him. This is so scripted. It's just garbage, man. I see it for what it is. And people are going to be so happy if they get their Trump, and they're just going to fall back asleep and go back to work and put their head back in the sand if they get Trump. And then it happens. I think that the timing, number 9 here, is very interesting. And number 10, how will this affect the general election? Well, it's boosted Trump's numbers already. We've seen the same thing happen to Ronald Reagan. Looky here. The GOP was investigating the Secret Service before this attempt. Oh, really? Oh, really? Then why didn't you have better security there? Hire someone else that's trusted if you can't trust them. Something. You got to do something. And if it can't be trusted, you don't go out. No one goes out into a trap. You kidding me? So the Secret Service was investigated by the GOP. Dude, why? What? Dude, they must have known something, seen, felt something. Rob, thank you. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. I will. Atomwaffen Division sounds like some German. Looky here. Looky here. It's these little nuggets, man. It's these nuggets, man. This is when you know you roll with the truth. When you really want to know the truth in life. And that's what you thrive for and seek and nothing else. All the other crap's garbage. This is a show. Looky here. The FBI claims they are purportedly struggling to crack the shooter's phone. The same phone that has all the calls from the feds to him on it. This is crazy. Can't crack the phone. The finest techies on the planet can't crack his phone. You know what that screams to me? You already know. It's just piling up. It's just piling up on them. All the evidence here. Come on. If this is ever covering tracks ever in your life, oh, we just can't do it. Oh, well, let us see it. Let us try to crack it. No. Why? Because we said so. We're the FBI, and what are you going to do? You see where this goes? What are you going to do about it now? They got their hands on all this stuff lightning quick, but can't crack it. Because they can't crack his laptop neither. Huh? Can't crack none of it. Well, keep it pushing here. I'm about to dive into some interesting stuff connected to this. What's this? There's another culprit here in this whole thing, and they're blaming the media. This is I've been saying the whole time. But look at this. Would you believe? And again, how many times do I got to keep saying this just in the stream? Look at this, look at this, look at this. How many red flags are we going to find? How many things are we going to find that really shouldn't be there? Unless it's something that's not right. Well, guess what? Another quinky dink here. When you know the shooter just so happens to be in a BlackRock video. Can you believe this? And they admitted it. And they scrubbed it. They tried to. They tried to. I got a YouTube video of a dude, and since I'm on YouTube, I'm afraid to play it for copyright. But he shows that he went in looking for all this stuff, and there is a video, the same video they're admitting and they're talking about right here. That was a commercial. They basically shot at this kid's school, and he was in it. And they've removed it since, like rather quick. Like, it was super quick, almost too quick. Like, how did anybody even realize this? Who? See, these are the common sense things that this happened too quick. Like, how did you even know? How did anybody in BlackRock even realize? I mean, we weren't even sure who the shooter was till like the next day, or like till at least Sunday. But yet, I don't know. It's like you telling me someone was sitting around from BlackRock that seen that and was like, "Oh no, that guy was in our commercial." I don't know, man. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of other people had more information than they should have known to be able to even pull that. Like like somebody skimming through YouTube watching videos should have caught it and like brought it to their attention. And like it's just the way that these things unfold. It's not in a genuine way, in a grassroots real way. Okay, these are the things like I've just trained myself to like to watch and to pick up on. These odd things that are not normal. So, guess what? I gotta love the Wayback Machine. Because even old BlackRock, I mean, unless the feds go in and absolutely wipe it out, then you gotta ask yourself why. If he was just in some commercial just sitting there, then why? You already told us in a minute that he was in it, and then why? Why go to the extremes to make sure no one sees it? I don't know, man. They have. They sure have. So BlackRock in this crazy connection to the shooter, scrubbing the video. All right, so let me dive into some more interesting stuff. And this kind of takes it to a whole nother level. I've told you about these Illuminati playing cards. You may be familiar with them. They go back to 1996. 95, 96, when the first series was created and printed. And they are rather prophetic. Big time. Because they predicted many events. Many people, many things, over and over again. And we're talking from the original series, from 95, 96. There's been other series that have been dropped in later years, they too have had interesting cards and things come true. But this is just kind of similar to baseball cards or something like that. There's only so many ever made. And when people start to catch on and see that someone knew this whole time of this game plan, the whole time, and they drop breadcrumbs to you about it in the form of a game, a card game, a long time ago, knowing what the plan was all the way up to the current time, because they all know it was one big, huge plan to walk out. They've been walking out for generations. Yeah, thank you, Fave. Yeah. Just as you see here, the Twin Towers getting hit. Charismatic leader. I'm not so sure if this is Trump or not. Some try to say it could be because he's got blondish hair, his back is turned, but this isn't the money one. This isn't even the one that's ever been considered a Trump card. Okay? Because Hillary's in there. Al Gore. And looky, what else is there? Quarantine. The Mask. This is from 95, 96. These things are becoming worth more and more money. I've told you, and I've told you, and I've told you, and I've told you. This one, right here. This card right here is the Trump card. You can see this one is graded. It is the 1996 Illuminati New World Order Assassins. Enough is enough card that I'm telling you right freaking now. It's going to go through the roof. It already has. Now, I want to read to you something. Shout outs to Big E that sent this to me. In 11/11 when he took the shot. Look at that. For those who can't read what the card says, let me tell you what the card says. It says this. At any time or any place, our snipers can drop you. Have a nice day. That's what it says in the first line on this card. That is Trump's face yelling. Not the back of some other head and have to guess. That is his face. And we've known it. We've known it this whole time. Enough is enough. This card just came to life in a way we never even thought possible. And it says it in the very first line. They knew. Snipers, Trump, all of it. So, dude, this was known and shown. I'm telling you now, this card is going to be worth thousands. Remember this time last year, that exact same Trump card? I told you about it. And I told you that I went and I bought a handful of them. And I bought any one that I could find at the time. Because they were hard to find. Go looking now. Go look now. Here, I'll save you some time. $1,500. Here, not even graded. Not even graded. Bids for 666. Look at that. Buy it now for 1776. Someone playing it hard. And you know what? They're going to get it. 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 They're going to get the 1776. You watch. You watch. Watch why. You want to know why they're going to get it? Look at this. Look at this one here. Graded an 8. Same. Near mint. Same card. You can read it right there. Anytime, at any place, our snipers can drop you. Have a nice day. Right there. This card just came to it. It just came to. Just came to life. All of it. $2,000. This is the second one that I could find. $2,000. Okay? Look up here above. $500. $1,500. You got one? Let's see here. All right, so some of these are bids. Some of these are bids, not buys. But you can buy this one now for $2,000. Let's look at this next one. Are you kidding me? It's sold. No longer available because this item sold. It's ended because the item is no longer available because it's sold. A 9.5 sold for $80,000. This listing was ended by the seller because the item is no longer available. For is that Canadian? Approximately C? What is that? Was approximately, and it's got a C next to it. 109,000. They had it up for US $80,000. It's gone. Dude. Dude, I don't even know. That's just insane. Again, these are very rare. Only so many were made. Dude, that's just crazy. Do you see what people are willing to do right now? To get their hands on this card. There's a ton of other cards out there. Look, you can see right here. There's even ones of the assassination with his hand pumped up. They've already got them printed. How? How did they get these things printed, graded, and how did they get them printed and graded all within the past couple days and online? Dude, this is nuts. This is crazy. Look, the Pentagon card here going for 116. Just a normal one card. I'm telling you, these cards are going to be worth so much. Anybody that's our age or living through this right now lives 20 years from now, and they're looking back at all this, and it's realized by more and more people that someone actually knew all this and predicted it all before all these events happened and did it in a card game. That in itself would be so mind blown. And if you were to just have one of the very rare few that were floating around out there, it'd be worth probably millions. If it's selling for 80,000 at this point, you can imagine some card of Abraham Lincoln or something from his time, or same crap or something like that. Like, dude, rare print, official, like high grade. Hey, and there's going to be auctions out here. Like I said, there's different auctions for this car. Here's one that's not even graded, pre-owned. It has a C in front of it. I'm guessing that's Canadian. For $2,000, right there. Here's another one, pre-owned for $2,700, right there. It's graded in 8. You can see all these cards here. All these fresh cards. They were all just made. They had to be in 2 days. It's what I'm finding over the weekend. You're telling me that over the weekend you found these companies that were open to grade them, to print these cases, to get them put in the cases and pressed, to have them. Dude! This doesn't make sense. It's in 48 hours. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy, man. All I'm telling you is I don't think that you're ever going to see or find another card on this planet that goes with Donald Trump involved that'll go for more. Yeah, there's rare ones, there's crazy ones out there. Maybe something's autographed that'll go for a certain price, but dude, this is nuts right there. I don't know how you can do that. I don't know how someone that's printing something can grade them in-house. Honestly, that's a conflict of interest. How can someone grade something that they've made? You can give it a passing a 10. And that's funny you say that because every single one that I've seen up there, those cards were all 10s. 10, 10, 10, 10. And when there is really a real card out there, you don't see a whole lot of 10s. So, you see, the highest you usually see is like a 9.5, very similar to this. It's crazy to think that I went and bought some of these things, man. And, wow. Anyhow, keep it pushing. Biden has another gaffe. He tried to come out and try to give this speech in saying that we should not have violence and all this stuff, and instead of saying that we resolve our difference at the ballot box, he calls it the battle box. And let's not forget, it was him right here that said that Trump is a threat to our nation. He's a threat, period. They put all these things out there. I'm going to play this clip up here so you can see what I'm talking about.
But in America, we resolve our difference at the battle box. You know, that's how we do it, at the battle box, not with bullets.
So, this guy's just full of gas. So Biden finally, I think we should stop calling it Biden. It's not Biden. It's an illusion. It's the establishment. Gives RFK Jr. Secret Service protection. Finally. So it took this event to give him. Do you really want Secret Service protection when you can get shot? Come on now. Wasn't it the Secret Service that was surrounding JFK when he got his head blown off? Hold up, pump the brakes. Isn't that true? Isn't that who was surrounding JFK on the motorcade and everything was the Secret Service when he got his head blown off? Wasn't it the Secret Service that was all around RFK when he got shot and killed? Wasn't it the Secret Service that was all around Reagan when he got shot? Are we starting to see a pattern here? And you want their protection? And Trump think them? Dude, none of these things make any sense. Garbage. I wouldn't want nowhere near me. But I lost my life in a real world situation. Get out of here. I never stuck my head up off that stage. I'd have rolled out of there. To be honest with you, if it was me or a real person up there, one of them agents that jumped on top of you up there would have put one in your head on the ground if they really wanted you dead. No one would have known any different. You'd be dead. Bullet in your head. They'd have said the gunman did it. I mean, look, they feed you whatever. They feed you whatever. It's crazy. It's insane. So, guess who else has been getting assassination attempts? Elon Musk. Elon Musk comes out and puts all his support behind Donald Trump now, throwing in some 40-some million. And he says he himself has been targeted by assassins. They tried to kill him twice in the past 8 months. They were arrested with guns about a 20-minute drive from Tesla headquarters in Texas. 2 different dudes tried to kill Elon. We're going to try to take him out. So, multiple assassination attempts just in the past 8-9 months on Elon. What he's saying. But if you've never heard that or not, it's apparently true, and it's coming out of his own mouth. Now, we've heard a lot of talk about who could step up here with Biden. Okay? You know, we did all this talk. I mean, we did the same thing with Trump. We even ran all the polls, all the percentages, like all that stuff. And some of the people that were leading in there, like Vivek and all these others, weren't even in the polls this week. Well, thank you, Led. Thank you for the coffee and the support there. It just says that you became a supporter. And much love, my brother. Kamala Harris. I know you don't even like hearing that name. I think it's meant to make you cringe. But Kamala. Gosh, I don't even like saying it. I don't even know if I can say it again. But that's what they want. They've wanted this whole time. They want something you absolutely can't stand. And that's why they gave you Biden and her. So she's in the lead to take this. And I told you before, the main reason she is because there's $90 million that can't be touched or used by the Dems unless she's involved. Her name's on it with Biden. If she's involved, they can use it and tap into it. And I'm telling you, they're not letting it go. I've seen it in separate stories now. They're not letting that 90 million go. And I don't know what she would be. If she would still serve as a vice again, or she would move up and try to run as the president instead of Biden. At this point, they say it doesn't matter who does it. Trump's in there. Outside of him dying. But look who all of a sudden is behind her. Buttigieg. Then Bernie Sanders. Then Gruesome Newsom. Then Cory Booker. Then Gretchen Whitmer. And then Amy Klobuchar. Okay, of course, nowhere on there you're going to see Big Mike because always sitting on the sidelines. Ain't really part of the politics until it is, right? And let's see here. We are past the top of the hour. I'm just going to touch on these 4 things connected to the downfall of our country as we end this stream here tonight. It points out 4 different factions fighting for control here. Tries to separate And they may have a point here in the sense where the Biden family is trying to hold on to whatever power is left there. Obviously, Biden's going out the door. He's going downhill. And someone else is coming in. But they point out the Democratic Party, basically the establishment, which is full of both sides. They're controlling all this. They want to call the establishment the dark state. Here, not even deep state, but dark state. They say that it's basically the Biden family, the Dems, then the dark state, and the fourth faction is you. That they point out in this. Fighting for the country, for the republic. That's pretty crappy odds there. It's more or less just us against the deep state. Deep state controls Biden and the Dems and everything below it. Controls all of it. It controls everything. Until you realize that, you're not seeing the bigger picture. And that right there brings this one to a close. I want to thank everyone out there that joins me. Everyone that shares the streams. It's appreciated to the fullest. I'm going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, here on multiple platforms. Longest restreams working right. Well, it depends on what happens with X. I may not be streaming to X in the future, especially, I don't know, it's taking me off with the stuff that you're doing there. Having to pay to play, so to speak. But with what we do, trying to reach people and doing the news, it comes with kind of the territory. But I feel like I don't know, it's just garbage. Like everyday people out there that want to go live, like you can't even do it. Because you don't have a check mark, which is crazy. Yes, Deanne. It's true. We're in that window. Thank you for the coffees. Thank you for the support. Again, that is the best way to support the channel here. Looks like we had Beard Vet up there in Milwaukee at the RNC. We got boots on the ground there. Anything pops off, he'll, I'm sure, let me know if anything like on the ground, anything crazy goes down. And I'll relay what I can back to you guys. Make sure to follow me on X for the breaking news. That is one thing I use it for, is to kick out links for the live shows and all breaking news. If I can't drop a video for something, I'm at least dropping links on the breaking news there. Thank you to all the mods, everyone out there, everyone that shares the stream, everyone that sends information, everyone that keeps me in their prayers. Make sure to stop in and check my channel. I like to say subscribe and hit that bell notification. Do that, but you're probably going to have to stop in and check my YouTube and my Twitter to see what I'm doing. I'm posting almost daily. So if you have to, make it a habit. Stop in, check my channel. I'm telling you, you're probably going to be surprised at how much stuff you see me posting that you don't get notifications for. Then you'll see. I'm just a place you just have to stop in and check. Jay from the Ville. Much love. All the mods. Look to be back on the next one Wednesday night. I will not be live next Wednesday. Keep repeating that. Let people know on like the 24th, whatever. I will not be live on that Wednesday. Probably just be Monday, Friday of that week. Shalom. Much love. God bless. Signing out. Yes, David Jenkins. Dabu 7. on Facebook. So this is the Underground World News, and I'm live there right now. Much love. God bless. Stand strong, purebloods. Stand strong. Yeah. Thank you, Crazy Tacos. Thank you, Eon. Much love. Thank you, Guam.